day, everyone. I'm Jon Lehtinen,
And I'm Sanjay Shahani.
and this is how Okta and Okta provides a competitive edge. But before we begin, we'd like to invite you all to ask your questions about the session in the virtual chat, and we'll respond as the session goes on. This may be pre-recorded, but will still be available to entertain your questions in that chat. But before we dive in, perhaps you should know who is talking with you today. I'm Jon Lehtinen. I'm the director of Okta and Okta.
And I'm Sanjay Shahani. I've been with Okta just over 20 months, and I lead enterprise architecture, M&A integration, and Okta, also known as Drink Your Own Champagne. We have an action-packed agenda for you today, where we will highlight some of the great stuff we are doing at Okta and Okta, starting with our mission. Next, we will highlight some of the great capabilities we have worked on in the Workforce Identity Cloud implementation, including how our move to OIE and FastPass allowed us to make great strides in our passwordless journey. Then we will explore how we are making Okta a more secure place to work, followed by a glimpse at what we are cooking up in the future for our Customer Identity Cloud and Okta Identity Governance deployments. Finally, we will close things with an invitation for all of our customers. So, what is Okta and Okta? And why do we feel so strongly about it being a competitive edge? The Okta and Okta team configures, runs, and maintains all the identity products we use here at Okta. Meaning, as I said before, we drink our own champagne by running our own workforce, customer, and federal identity implementations on the Okta platform. Of course, Okta and Okta team is more than a team. And it's more than just a program. Okta and Okta is actually a philosophy of how we build our business on our platform. Our mission is to enable the best-in-class experience for our employees and customers. And we approach that mission across three main focus areas. The first and most obvious is to enable the business. We own our implementations for workforce, customer, and federal identity and provide the connective identity tissue at the center of our business operations, security posture, and customer engagement. Delivery of identity service across all of these spheres is significant, but that is table stakes for any company. What makes Okta and Okta special is everything else that we get to do, like our second focus area, evolving our product. This means partnering with product, quality, and engineering to influence how our products are built and to provide feedback to make sure they serve not only our needs as a growing company, but also the use cases of small and large customers alike. Finally, we showcase the platform. We share our experiences running the business on the Okta platform. Current and prospective customers want to talk to the practitioners about how we have solved identity challenges using Okta technology. We show them the power of our platform through consultations, best practices sessions, and by developing and sharing the solutions for our own identity challenges. This means Okta and Okta is more than just an internal IT service provider. We are a competitive edge. Few are the companies that build so much of their business upon their own products. As our first and best customer, we benefit from the first-hand experiences of securing the business on our platform. We point to our implementation as the reference of how identity problems can and should be solved. John, do you want to walk us through some of the examples of our Workforce Identity Cloud?
Oh, most certainly, Sanjay. Last year, we blazed the trail for upgrading OIE, and that opened up lots of new opportunities for us in Workforce. The lessons learned from that endeavor formed the foundation for how we would offer OIE upgrades to our customers. And as cool as that story is, that isn't really what we want to highlight here. Moving to OIE opened up lots of opportunities on how we delivered our workforce identity, starting with shared app level policies. We're always looking for the optimal user experience for our workforce. Delivering a good user experience that balances security and assurance to the sensitivity of the resource being accessed is a big part of that story. With our move to OIE, we opened the door to assigning policies based on the sensitivity of the resources so everyone at Okta can have a great sign on experience regardless their role. Shared app policies also allowed us to restack our full app portfolio into only a handful of policies. This greatly simplifies policy management and provides a consistent experience for our workers. And of course, user authentication is only one part of this story. Our move to OIE opened up lots of new capabilities for device context at authentication time. We'll dive into this with much more detail in a moment. So for now, we'll move on to everyone's favorite feature, Okta FastPass. This was the killer app for our OIE rollout, and justifiably so. Okta FastPass lets us sign into our resources from any device where FastPass is configured without the need for a password. This delivers a delightful user experience and is saving us time and money, and is a major component of our passwordless journey here at Okta. We'll dive more deeply into FastPass in our next section. But for as long as we use passwords, at least we have options on how our workforce can manage and recover them. Flexible account recovery options helps our workforce avoid engaging with the help desk when managing their passwords. Passwords are tremendously expensive to manage and support, so using platform features like this to reduce the time and effort required for account recovery is another user experience and security win. Sanjay?
We would like to share some details of how Okta FastPass has impacted our user experience and security here at Okta. We introduced FastPass to our workforce in August of last year, and it has had a huge impact on our user experience. As of now, nearly half of all daily authentication events use FastPass. Moreover, approximately three-fourths of daily authentication events now use a passwordless technology such as FastPass and WebAuthn. In a world where password attacks are a major vector for data breaches, this reduction in password use helps to greatly reduce our attack surface. Not only are we more secure, but we are also saving time. If we compare the time it takes to sign in using FastPass compared to a baseline multi-factor authentication flow, we reveal that we are saving over 7,700 person hours per year just by simplifying the sign-on experience with FastPass. If you do a little bit of business value analysis, that time savings translates into $473,000 in time savings per year for us. This is obviously a big deal for us, but most importantly, it's a compelling invitation for our customers to begin their own passwordless journey on OIE. We are proud of the impact this work has had on us in terms of user experience, cost savings, and improving our security. We are committed to further reducing the footprint of passwords in our business, and we'll have lots more to share as we speak to leverage additional platform capabilities to enable us in this journey. John, do you want to walk us through how we harden at Okta and Okta?
Oh, yeah. Hardening Okta is top of mind for us. Our move to OIE enabled several new platform capabilities in addition to FastPass, and we've partnered with our security and defensive cyber operations teams to release several new features and configurations aimed to harden our own Okta implementation. And I've been told these combined efforts in this space have already paid dividends in helping us avoid being impacted by some incidents. We'd like to share just a few of the new capabilities we've released that are improving our security posture and supporting a zero trust architecture for our company. First up, behavioral detection policies. Behavioral detection keeps a running sample of various data points on the user's authentication context. Things like a new IP address, new device, or unusual velocity between sign-in locales, and looks for anomalies that are out of the ordinary for the user. For a user whose behavior signals fall within the historical baseline, nothing special is required, and we can make the assumption that the standard low-friction authentication will be sufficient assurance to access resources in our environment. However, if signals show a significant deviation from the established baseline, the behavioral detection policy won't block the transaction. Rather, it will require that the user sign in using high assurance authenticators. By signing in with strong authentication, The behavioral detection policy allows the user to access their resources as normal. This capability gives us the ability to elevate the challenge commensurate with the deviation from baseline so we preserve user experience and heighten security.
Of course, authenticating the user is only one piece of the zero trust puzzle. Next, we would like to share what we have done using Okta Device Trust. With OIE, devices can now be affiliated with a user record, and we can set policies based on how well or not we may know the device. Device Trust gives us options to design access policies for every type of device, which we may use in our environment. This gives us the flexibility to restrict access to resources depending upon the device status as unmanaged or registered with Okta Verify, or managed using EMM and a device certificate, or even based on the security signals coming from our EDR software on the device. Let's take a look at a few examples of how this works. Using device trust with managed device policies lets us authenticate the devices which a user uses to access Okta resources, which is a key component of zero trust architecture. In this arrangement, a device which has been issued a certificate from our Okta tenant is necessary in order to access certain Okta resources. In addition to the user's credentials being validated at sign on, this managed device policy also requires that the device used to access the resource is listed as managed, meaning it has been issued a certificate using our endpoint management software through our platform's PKI capabilities. This ensures Okta resources can only be accessed from identified devices. As an aside, in my experience, standing up and running PKI service is one of the tougher IT and identity challenge for organization. So a big kudos to our product team on this one for making this incredibly easy on our platform. Logically, those without a certificate indicating the device is under management will be denied access to certain resources. We take this device posture even further once we layer in endpoint detection and response signals as part of our policies. We have introduced the new CrowdStrike ZTA integration into our app sign on policies for corporate issued devices. The CrowdStrike ZTA plugin lets Okta Verify collect CrowdStrike's trust signals for real time access decisions. ZTA evaluates endpoint health across various touchpoints to ensure the device is in a secure state while logging into Okta and accessing various resources. If the device posture doesn't match the requirements outlined in our CrowdStrike ZTA policies, the user cannot access resources. A device capable of fulfilling the policies based on the CrowdStrike ZTA is required to access certain resources. FastPass and other passwordless technologies identify the users using phishing resistant means. The platform capabilities like unmanaged device checks and other device trust policies ensure the right device is being used. And CloudStrike ZTA and behavioral detection policies help us to make determinations about access based on the request context. All of these capabilities layer atop of each other to provide us with a zero trust architecture that emphasizes defense in depth. John, do you want to walk us through some of the identity cloud examples?
Yes. Now we'd like to share some details on where we think we have opportunities for the future. And we're going to start with that quick pulse on our customer identity implementation using the Customer Identity Cloud. Our work toward a passwordless future isn't just a workforce concern. Everyone who signed up, registered, and attended Oktane this year had the option for a completely passwordless registration and sign-on experience. Okta Workflows is also used to sync information from our Customer Identity Cloud into our business customer management and marketing systems. We are busy outlining our plans for how we will use additional Customer Identity Cloud features to deliver a truly referenced implementation of that platform. Getting our CIC or Customer Identity Cloud strategy right and executing will provide us a solid foundation upon which to build out and expand our reach and business value opportunities for customers, suppliers, partners, and all other B2B and B2C use cases. We'll be eager to share details and impact in this space as we deliver them. Of course, another high visibility capability that has the potential for significant impact is our journey with Okta Identity Governance. Ever since the announcement at Oktane 21, we've been working on how we would bring this capability to our own organization. Our partners in the product organization brought us in immediately after the announcement so we could outline the opportunities, gaps, and use cases for Okta Identity Governance within our own environment and our own implementation. This ensured that our voice of the practitioner helped to shape and inform the product so that it would address the needs of our own business. The business wasn't going to put a pause on any number of projects designed to improve our compliance and employee experience journeys, so we used those projects and programs to evaluate the patterns we would want to see writ large as part of a holistic approach to IGA. For example, our toe dip into fine-grained role-based access control was in response to a need for the field team to get their Salesforce access on day one. Those lessons are being carried forward for when we are ready to operationalize onboarding applications for fine-grained access control in the future. Beyond that, we've used several iterative releases to prepare our environment to be manageable through an IGA program. This includes adding new attributes to our profiles to help us map entitlements and other improvements to our existing lifecycle management processes. We worked on a program that replaced all of the ad hoc requestable access to our support user application with a role-based process. This gave us further experience with how we would approach role management as we rolled this program forward. Through all of these experiences, as Okta Identity Governance got close to general availability, we were in a good position to understand how we would be moving the business forward to take advantage of this new service capability. Even still, this will be a long journey for us. This is because launching and running a successful IGA program in an enterprise requires much, much more than just flipping on some feature flags and calling it all good. We are building up both the maturity of the IGA program from a technical capability perspective, as well as considering what the IGA program will look like from the point of view of our internal customers who will then consume it as a new component of Okta and Okta's service catalog. We are taking notes and noting those lessons we're learning as we ramp up the program and its service delivery. And we look forward to comparing our notes and sharing our lessons learned as we take Okta on this journey to be its own best and first customer for Okta Identity Governance. And once more, this is why Okta and Okta is a competitive edge. Our work not only enables the business through identity-centric security, we get to make our products better for our customers by being at the forefront of using them to solve our own business challenges. And more importantly, we get to share our experiences with our customers so they have an easier go of it on their own journeys. And that sets us up very nicely for our call to action for customers who are interested in hearing more about how we do things here at Okta. If any of you feel that you could benefit from discussing our experiences deploying Okta technology, we invite you to please ask your customer rep to arrange a discussion. We'd love to hear from you and compare our notes, talk shop, and share our experiences so we can help you on your own journeys as well. Thank you all for your time and attention from all of us here at the Okta and Okta team. And we look forward and hope to hear from you in the future.